Greetings, this is the one and only business lawyer. I want to talk about a new feature available for all strategy balance patch maps, and that is gameplay recording. Now, this is not screen recording. This is like actual gameplay data playback in bzmapIO. So bzmapIO now has a way to load game recordings through the game's log file. So what I'm going to show you here is a match between myself and King Fury Killer. And this is a match I lost for one specific reason. I left mid completely uncontested. So we see here that he takes a very risky and aggressive push to mid right off the bat. You can see that he's the red colored tanks here, and he takes 2 scabs and a constructor. Like, if I had built a couple of scouts and then just rushed to mid, I could have basically completely screwed him over. Like, he would not have any scrap to work with. Like, it would have been game over, because if I destroyed his scrap, if I destroyed his 2 scabs and his constructor, he would have no scrap to build anything with. Like his only option would have been to snipe a scavenger, and you know, like, it would have been over. But he gets away with it, unfortunately. So we see how fast these scavs clean up this scrap in the middle here. So you can actually see at the bottom, it's like we're at the 1 minute mark around here, and in about, I'd say about 20 seconds, somewhere around there, most of the scrap is cleaned up. And I realize this way too late, and it's just it's bad news for me, because I'm still struggling for resources, and now King Fury is pretty much set for the rest of the game. Oh well. But anyways, let me outline how to get a recording of your own put out so that you can review your gameplay recordings. Okay, and just for this example, I'll just load into Canyon Madness and just boot into this map. At the start of the game, you can type /rec, and then it'll give you a message that gameplay recording is active. So what this does is that it saves all of the data of all of the positions of every single thing in the game into the BattleZone log file. That's how this thing works. So all I'm going to do is just create like a couple of scavengers, just for the sake of demonstration. I don't want to do anything too elaborate here. Maybe make this one follow me while I backpedal backwards. Okay, and let's undeploy the recycler and make it follow me as well, and then we'll end the recording there, just so that we can see that, you know, how this is all working. There we go. All right, so we'll Alt-Tab back into Blender. You want to load in the default bzmapIO file. Essentially just load in the unmodified bzmapIO default file. You want to be using the very latest version of bzmapIO as well. Now, there's 2 things that you can do here. One, you can actually look for the bzlogger file in your game directory, and before you restart the game, you're going to want to copy and paste this and then rename it to something that you could recognize, like Canyon Madness. Okay, and then I usually just lump this into a folder called recordings or something like that. Okay, so now what I can do is first I have to load up the map. I don't really have a way, like, I'm still working on the convenience features for this thing, so for right now you're just gonna have to know which map you played on which recordings. Sorry, I'll fix that eventually, but for right now, yeah. So then you need to locate the location where your workshop maps are. So if you're playing like default strat balance patch, you're going to be looking into like C, program files, Steam, Steam apps, workshop content, and then this specific folder 301-650. This contains all of your BattleZone workshop files. 278 is the default strat balance patch ones, and I just happen to know that Bolt ST26 is Canyon Madness. Now, I do have a little trick for you to help you identify which maps are which. If you just navigate to this folder and then type like .bmp, you'll get an image of what every map looks like. So you can actually identify which map is which visually by just looking for Canyon Madness right here. Yeah, Bolt ST26. That looks like Canyon Madness right there. So anyways, I'll just go ahead and load in that map, import map, and then we'll do that. Let it load. Okay, now after we load it, and preferably you have import objects off, because objects actually take a while to load, so you want to leave it off when you're importing a map for recording playback. All right, so now we can go import game recording, go into the recordings folder that I made, and then I can just load in this file. Now, files do take a fair bit of time to load, and I don't think this is something that I can really fix directly, just because of how slow Blender's API is for handling objects. I could probably optimize this later, but for right now, it can take upwards of like 5 to even 10 minutes to load a gameplay recording. Fortunately, once it's loaded, everything is like you can actually just go to File, Save As, and then just save the blend file in order to have easy access to this particular recording. And we can actually see that if I go to this timeline here and move it further in time, we see exactly what transpired. I made 2 scavs, I had them follow me, and then the recycler followed me. So, and it even got the nav beacon that I placed to get the recycler placed a little bit faster. So there's one more thing to cover. Let's say that in a single session, you record like 3 or 4 games with an opponent. So now all of those games are going to be embedded into that one log file. And I put in a little provision that lets you define which game that you want to load. It's not exactly user-friendly, but if you click game recording and you have a log file that contains multiple games, which I recorded 3 games in one session. So if I try to select this file, it's going to say, okay, your log contains 3 matches. Type in the game number you want to load. So let's say that I want to load the 3rd game of the series. So now I can just load the file with the number 3 punched in, and it will load the 3rd game of that set. So yeah, there's that. And that's essentially it. I am going to do a quick convenience feature update to automatically populate the replace player 1 with the actual name of the player. So that's coming soon. And yeah, that's essentially how to use the plugin. Now you gotta keep in mind that the log file is deleted every time you reload the game. So if you crash, or if you exit the game and then re-enter, your data is lost. So make it a habit to copy and paste this file so that you don't lose that data. And that's all there is to it. I hope everybody enjoys this feature. There's a lot of there's a lot of stuff that I've included that I think people will enjoy. For instance, I do actually capture the target of the players, so you can know. For instance, when I hit T, I was targeting King Fury Killer's tank here, and I can see his target too. So see, so I know that he was targeting the scout at the time that his tank was destroyed here. There's also other little nuances, like there's a kill indicator here. It'll basically show where the last thing was killed. The tanks are colored based on teams, so the brighter a tank is, the more hull it has left. And yeah, there's just there's a lot of interesting applications for this. It could be used for entertainment or to help improve your game, know where your opponent is exploiting your weaknesses, find weaknesses that you could exploit from them. You know, it's almost like a game within a game. So yeah, that's about it. Enjoy.